Hello and welcome everyone to the second edition of the live Aussie Rules Game Day Squad show. I'm your host Cal, and joining me as always I've got Tom. Tom, how you doing?
G'day, mate. I'm doing very well, thank you, and I'm very, very excited for an awesome round two coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Kerm, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good as always. Good to start talking footy. Love talking footy.
Except when your Suns lose. I can't wait to get
Absolutely.
into that. And this week, guys, for our special guest, we have Cam from the Draft Doctors. Cam, how are you this afternoon?
Yeah, doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on. Pumped.
No, excited for you to be here, mate. We are back with another live show, and we are here because of Game Day Squad. So Game Day Squad, of course, is a brand new way to play fantasy sports. So if you're just seeing this for the first time, jump on, download the app, jump on the desktop, Game Day Squad, start your Aussie Rules team today. Guys, we've got a lot on for this show. We've got a few games that we're going to play. We're going to grill Cam. We've got a couple of questions at the end as well that we can't wait to get to. We're also going to be giving away a few things, so make sure you are following along. There are going to be a few things dropped along the way. But before we do that, as always, Kerm, I believe you've got some team news to fill us up with.
Yeah, there's a lot more team news going into round two here compared to round one. And we'll kick things off with tonight's game. So for Cam's boys, Jack Bowes is set to play tonight against Carlton in what will be his first game for Geelong. But unfortunately, with the outs, two big fantasy players, Tom Stewart and George Hewitt, will both miss tonight's matchup, both due to injury. Adam Treloar is going to be ruled out for the Doggies. He had a stunner game last weekend. And in Saints news, Marcus Windhager is back in round two. So it'll be interesting to see who he goes to early on Saturday night against the Doggies. Some ruck news. We all know how much we love the ruckman. And Todd Stewart is back with Tristan Cherry missing with injury. So Toddy Goldstein hopefully going to be winding the clock back for a lot of you guys who own him. And he hopefully will score big. Last week's highest scoring forward, Cozzy Pickett, is going to be missing Friday night's game due to suspension, unfortunately. And another young star down back for Brisbane, Kadeem Coleman, is going to be ruled out with injury as well. And then to close things off for the lineups on Sunday slate, Josh Kelly, Lockie Whitfield, they're both going to miss GWS's game with injury. And Lockie Weller is going to be selected for the Suns. So that'll be a big inclusion for my Sunny boys who need some run and injection out of the back line.
Absolutely, they do. And make sure, guys, if you haven't already, jump on. Lockout is just, 45 minutes, half an hour away. Make sure you've jumped in. Your team is set, ready to go. You don't want to miss out on round two. We all, of course, are super excited for that. But, Tom, I believe you're going to kick things off with Grill the Guest.
Yes, we sure are. And Grill the Guest, what we're going to do here, Cam, mate, we're going to ask you a couple of different questions. Some might be fantasy related, others may not. Just get to know you a little bit better, not only for us, but everyone who's watching as well. And now's a great opportunity. If you do want to ask a question to Cam yourself and you're watching, put them down in the chat box. Kerm's going to be picking out a couple, and later on, we're going to come back around to them and, get Cam to answer them. But I'll kick it off with the first one. I think it's the obvious one. Firstly, what got you into footy, and how did that evolve into your current position in the fantasy community, Cam?
Oh, I grew up in Melbourne and, massive family following of the Cats and the Dogs. So, and it was literally just pick a side at one point, and I picked the Cats, and have been, they've been my team ever since. And as you know, getting into the fantasy community, we spun up our draft league about 10 years ago. And
wow,
well, this is the 10th year actually this year. Yeah. So, and from there it was just sort of, I think I won like 2 of the first 3 years or something. And I was like, man, maybe I'm actually good at this. And then kind of, reached out to Steve and the guys at the Draft Doctors, and they needed someone to write. And so I started writing for them, just articles every week. And then they pulled me on the pod and haven't been able to get rid of me since.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Wow. Awesome. Callum, I think you got the next one, mate.
Yeah, so I was going to say before we got that, you're probably wondering, Cam, why we've got Cooper White there. And this is our first giveaway. I've had these Cooper White cards in my team. I've got 3 of them. There seem to be, when you play things like FIFA and you always pack that one player, you can't, for me, it's Cooper White. Had no idea who he was. Found out today he's actually going to debut tonight for your Cats, I believe, as the sub. So what I decided to do, I've had him on the market, haven't been able to sell him. So I think we're going to give the best question, as judged by you tonight, from our listeners or people who have written in. the Cooper White card because I clearly can't sell him, so he's not worth anything. So might as well give it away, find him a new home. But so make sure you are getting your questions in, whether you're listening along on YouTube, Facebook, or on whereas the third one we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. That's it. Have to go through them. Cam, tell us a little bit about the draft doctors. What are you guys different? We had Hef on last week. He spoke to us about the Keeper League. What do the draft doctors do?
So we I guess Steve and Jono, who pioneered the pod, and then Statesman, who joined at a later time, but not too much later. They sort of pioneered or saw the advances in American sports and the draft format there. And I was sort of like, there's not really anyone that covers that content here. We've got at the time, I think the pod's been going for like 8 years, something crazy at this point, which I still can't believe there hasn't been any, controversy yet, because we do some pretty controversial stuff on the pod. But it's just, we're different because we specifically look at the draft format, and that's exclusively it. We talk waivers, we talk up and comers, we do all sorts of stuff, and it's maybe we're a little bit more relaxed than some of the others out there as well.
Yeah, mate, it seems like America's really set the standard when it comes to the draft. So I love that you guys have adopted that same mindset and bringing it to Australia. I guess that's what we hope to do here, keep building our community and in fantasy sports. But let me get into the next question, because this one really hurts me. And of course, you're a Geelong fan, but I'm a Swans fan, and I'm still trying to get over the grand final last year. It wasn't pretty. It's tough. All right, we get it, mate. We get it. You touched us up. You guys are a class above. I think we all know that. But it's a new year this year, and that's good. We get to hit the reset button. We get to come back down to earth. So I wanted to get your thoughts, first of all, on Geelong in round one and how you think Geelong are going to go for the rest of this season.
Yeah, I thought it was concerning, to be honest, from a points scored perspective in the fantasy game. The Cats were terrible, like really bad, and especially the core midfield. Guys like Cam Guthrie, Dangerfield couldn't get close to the ball, let alone lay a few tackles and have some effective disposals. So I think, and they were kind of transitioning that way last year to being a lower scoring midfield team and really having, I guess, their predominant scorers being off the halfback. And I think that's just maybe continued a bit this year. But yeah, they weren't good last week, I don't think. And I'm pretty keen to watch tonight's game. So when we wrap up here, straight to watch Carlton and see if they can touch them up.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. That's just over half an hour now, so can't
Very
wait
excited
to get into that one. Cam, let's talk Game Day Squad. That's why we're here. Now, you're a little bit different from our other special guests because you're actually involved with us here in the company at Game Day Squad. So I want to ask the question, share with everyone, what was the first thing when you heard about Game Day Squad that you thought, hey, that's something that I might want to get involved with?
Honestly, it's probably the other way, Cal. It was Hef. Was like, because Hef and I, Hef from the Keeper League, and I play FIFA a fair bit. We play FIFA Ultimate Team. We both love it. He's several tiers better than I am, but like we both enjoy playing the game and packing cards and all that sort of stuff. And he was like, man, you should check this out. It could be something. And I was like, I don't know. Seems a bit not so good. And then after a while, like, I just looked into it, right, and tried it out and reached out to you, Cal, I think, at the time. And I was just like, tell me more about what it is. And from then I was basically hooked, to be honest. I was like, could genuinely be the next step in fantasy sports in Australia. And I was like, how can I get involved? Like, let me know how I can help.
Love to hear that. But before we get into the next question, we have a comment here. Is it too much to have 3 port forwards in this week? Rosie, Butters, and Jason Horn-Francis. Callum, you might be the man to answer this.
No,
do you go the triple?
Stack them. Game Day Squad is different. You're allowed to play as many players from teams as you want. Try and get all 6 in if you can.
How do we mute Cal?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because
someone write that down in the comments. We can get that happening.
Because I feel like, so the one concern I'd have on all of these players is Boat coming in. And it's just, is there an impact on the CDA numbers for someone like a JHF? Is he going to play more forward? Boak's touted to play more forward this year, but I think there'll be an impact there.
Yeah, spot on. A lot of mouths to feed, hey. But we're talking about Game Day Squad, so if it comes to a Game Day Squad question, the best part about it is our player cards. So from your current team, Cam, I want to know, who's your favourite player? Who are you still looking for? And Who's the first player to go from your lineup?
So the player that I'm most fond of in my team at the moment is probably I've got a diamond Errol Goulden.
Oh, that's my boy.
It's a very hot card, and I've just made a trade today that I'd be very disgusted with in almost any other context. But I traded out Dylan Moore, like just to my reserves. And I brought in a diamond Jack Zeeble into my forward line because I feel like he's someone who's going to be really overlooked in the broader fantasy community, and his output off the halfback flank last week was super good.
We actually have a rule where you're not allowed to say his name on this podcast.
I was going to say.
So there's your one strike, but just for future reference and for future guests, you can't say that. You can't say the Z word on the show.
Zeeble. He could be the top scoring forward of the year, Cal.
Still won't acknowledge his existence. Kerm, I believe you got some listener questions.
Yeah, moving swiftly onwards from he who shall not be named. We got some listener questions here for you, Cam. And aside from the first one's actually really interesting. I'm quite interested to hear what you say here. But aside from your golden child, who is your must start of the week going into round 2?
My golden child.
Your golden child, Errol Goulden. Aside from
man, I thought you were about to say Jack Zeeble again.
No.
I would my must start of the week.
Strike 2.
is almost certainly Darcy Parish. I think he's going to have a pretty big game and
against the Suns.
Yeah, correct. And is this where we're doing? Is this also the lock of the week question?
No, that comes later.
Okay.
We'll do the prediction for the score later on, but that's good to know that we're still against the Suns, so that's good.
Yeah, correct. I think he'll put up some big numbers. Had like 30 odd disposals last week, bunch of tackles. Ceiling is going to be huge.
No, I like that one. I like that one a lot. The next one that came in is how much stock do you put into things like CBAs and kick-ins when you're going for team selection?
Yeah, Jaden Popowski, stats guru on Twitter, has been on a crusade recently to
He's so good.
He's awesome, like unreal. But he's on a bit of a crusade to disprove the value of the CDA. And I see what his point is, and I think it's he's on the right track as well. And I wouldn't know how to prove it with data, but the intent is to just say, are they going to be around the ball or not? Right. And then it's less about that, and it's about ability and role. And if they're going to be around the ball, they've got the right role and they've got the ability, then they're probably going to score pretty well, right? So
yeah,
I look at that sort of combination. Same with kick-ins. Like, half the guys who take the kick-in aren't as good as the people who receive it from a fantasy perspective, right? So that's probably the two things I've looked for.
That's really good. And we've just had confirmation from Mark Jones on YouTube. He said he just swapped Merritt to Parish based on Cam's analysis there. So there's one for you, Cam.
Yeah, I did say, look, I was pretty open in the Discord that I was going to give false advice so that I can win the comp. So...
He's coming after everybody's team. We got one last one here, and it's a really simple, easy one. Who would you rather start this round? Jordan De Goey off a big week last week, or Zach Butters, who was working his way back into the season?
Yeah, I think De Goey, to be honest. Yep. Kerwin talked a little bit about it earlier. I think he's going to be probably the number one scoring midfielder at the Pies. Pendlebury aside, because he's going to consider him a halfback flanker as much as a mid this year, but he's just going to get forward, kick goals, be the first receiver from all of those handballs from Titch. It's going to be good.
All right, we've got through all those questions. Cam, we've got a Cooper White to give away. Which of those listener questions, who's going to take home the lucky platinum Cooper White?
I think just first of all, my favourite thing here is maybe Cooper White was prevented people from asking questions.
I was going to say, I think it's driven people away.
But it's hard to go past Mark Jones with the Port question.
There we go. We'll get in touch with Mark.
Congratulations, Mark. You can finally take that off my hands.
All right, but let me get into it. We've got a Discord competition currently that we run, and if you haven't joined the Discord, get into it. It's free. You may as well. And what we ask you every week is, for the round, who's going to be GameDay Squad's highest fantasy scorer? And additionally, if you can guess the score correctly, you get a bonus pack on top. So it's 3 by a common player pack for getting the player right. And then it's a rare pack if you get the exact score right. And as I mentioned, you go to the Discord, there's the competitions tab there. And if you need any help, let me help you out. Go Nick Dacos for 164 fantasy points.
Love it.
I've got you.
Just to explain why we were laughing there, Mark Jones' response when we said that Cooper White was on his way. So, yeah, if you're wondering why we're laughing there, Tom, that's why. Cam, we have a fun game to play, and this is where we actually get everyone who's following along involved, and it's called Buy, Sell, Sell. And it can be a bit of fun, but hopefully to someone, it's going to be a little bit cruel, because how this game works is we're going to open a few 3-player packs. And the rule behind it is you get whoever you say buy to, we'll actually send you that player. So hopefully you get someone good. But the rule is those other 2 players that you say sell to, I'm going to list on the transfer market right now for 1 cent. So if you do get 2 absolute stars, someone listening along is going to see a card pop up on the transfer market for 1 cent. So if you are listening along, go get your phone, go get GameDay Squad out, because there are going to be hopefully some good cards that Cam has to make some tough decisions between. So you across the rules, Cam? You ready to play?
So keen.
Awesome. We've got an open pack and a rare pack, and we also have a unique pack. Apologies, my internet's been playing up there.
How's your pack like normally, Cam?
I average.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
Expecting some heat here, or what are we looking at?
Silver McDonald.
Okay.
Gold Tui. Golden Ann Curvis. Who are you buying?
Mate, that's not too bad. I would buy Nate Stonks, to be honest. I think he's such a good point of difference ruck, and he dominated last week. So
yeah, look good. Look really good.
Well, someone out there is going to get a gold Zach Tui for 1 cent. Keep an eye on that. We're going to post that one in a second. That one was too easy.
That's a hot card, by the way, the Zach Tui card with Tom Stewart out for the next few weeks. Get on that for 1 cent.
I'm looking forward to someone posting in the Discord and unaware that this is going on and being like, hey, you guys seen that cards are going up for 1 cent? Yes, that is us. That are the cards. So make sure you are following along. Cam, your second pack. Patton, Walsh, and Zorko.
Is that a platinum Zorko?
That's a platinum Zorko. Does that make you think?
Forward status for Zorko.
It's got to be the easiest. Sam Walsh literally broke his back carrying Carlton. Load up Sam Walsh, and Ben Patton for 1 cent is maybe questionable value still, but Zorko at 1 cent that's a ripper card for someone.
It's a platinum. You got to take that for 1 cent, surely.
That's a super good card.
Maybe we offer the swap to Mark Jones and see if he wants the Zorko instead of the Cooper White.
That seems a little bit less cruel.
Last one. All right. I hope you pull a legend or something here, Cam, and really make you think an Errol Goulden or something.
No.
Legend animation.
No.
We've got Wood, Plowman, and Gardner.
Oh, God.
There it is, boys. There it is.
Wood's actually quite good.
I'll tell you what. Wood is excellent, but I feel like I want to give something to the community, and so I will just take Ryan Gardner, and someone can have Mason Wood for 1 cent.
Good guy, Cam.
Wow. Cam. And shout out to Mark Jones. We've just closed a trade live on the live stream. He's taken that deal, Callum.
He is. He's done.
Give him the bloody Zorko.
That's what we love about GameDay Squad. You can trade. It's that easy. If you are following along, watch on the transfer market. They're all going to be up. So thank you, Mark. That deal is done. Tom, I believe I'm going to hand you over for this one, trade battles.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have a look at some different trade scenarios, and you're going to tell us which side you'd prefer to be on.
Cool.
So let's get right into it with the first trade. Now, this is actually a trade from my account on GameDay Squad. So I've listed up my Platty Connor Rosé recently, and I was sent this offer: a silver Dylan Moore, silver Isaac Heaney, and a silver Hayden Young. What side of the trade would you like to be on?
Man, this is so interesting, right? Because, and it's a good pick, Tom, for a trade to discuss, because if you're in the open league, that Connor Rosé card is super valuable, like really, really valuable. And honestly, and the other three are great as well, but if you were in it for using the transfer market. Oh man, it's tight. I'll take Rosie, to be honest.
It's tight. Yeah, it's a good one, eh? But and just by the way, for anyone listening, I still have this Rosie. I've relisted him for trade, so you can trade for him if you still want.
So you didn't accept that as well?
I didn't accept that. No,
so
no.
There's your bar, listeners. You need to be better than that.
Let's get into the next one. Nice little trade there. Awesome heat. So we got a legend, 1 of 1, Tom Green. Then we got Jackson, Jason Horn-Francis, and who's the last one? My eyes are Perkins.
Archie Perkins, yeah.
All diamonds. So you go on the diamonds here, which are just one under the legend, or do you go all in on a Tom Green legend card?
Tom Green legend card is so good. Like, you've got that for the next 10 to 12 years, and it's going to be a primo for that long. So lock in the legend every day of the week, Beth.
Nice.
I would honestly give like 4 or 5 or 6. I'd give a whole squad to get that card.
That's interesting. I like that.
And people agree. Tom Green, everyone's saying, they would go the same. Yeah. Let's get into the next one. Old Matty Rowell. And your man right here, 2 golds, straight swap, bit of a stitch up, I reckon.
It's a bit of a stitch up.
Which side of the fence are you playing here, mate?
Give me Tanner Bruin. No, legitimately, I think Real is going to be an excellent player. Obviously, touted to be fantastic from the juniors, but I'm not sure he has the ability on the outside, which could still develop, right? He could still be really good on the outside eventually, but I think Tanner Bruin is going to be something special in the next probably 5 years at the Cats.
Yeah, that's
and forward listed this year. Bang.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
We did upset Kerm Saturday night. I might have called. I was away at the Suns game, and I might have used the word mediocre with Matty Rowell, and it set Kerm off. And I think, it was a heated question. But
I think the term I used was he's Ben Cunnington, and that didn't land well with Kerm.
He was already having a rough night with what was happening with the Suns, and we were just making.
They were kicking a man while he was down.
Ease up on the Suns, boys. Ease up. It's a long season, eh? We're only week 1 in.
Well, good news. We have just sold a couple of those cards that have gone up, so congratulations to those people who have been buying them. I'll still sell them over the rest of the show, so make sure you are following along and into tonight as well. I believe now we are going to get into lock of the round, but before we do that, Kerm, is there any other listener questions coming in that you wanted to ask?
We had one come through, and he said it's a trade scenario. He said he traded his diamond Cornelio for a gold Andrew Brayshaw, Tuke Miller, and Stephen Cornelio, all gold. Thoughts? He's competing in the capped competition.
Ooh. It's not a bad trade.
That's a diamond Cornelio. I'll say it again. A diamond Cornelio for gold Andrew Brayshaw, Tuke Miller, and Stephen Cornelio.
Just let me share it on screen. That's a very good one.
Yeah. Would have given you more. Mark's coming in.
Would have given you more, he says.
So Diamond Cogs, if I was to reflect on the transfer market at the minute, is going for a lot of money. So I reckon you could have probably sold him on the transfer market and bought those players on the transfer market for cheaper and still being able to open up a unique 9. Maybe. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Opposing view. Straight away, you don't have to go through all the mess. You've got your Andy Brayshaw and Tuke. That should be playing in your midfield, and you've got the cogs in your team. You've made your team infinitely better. And who knows? Yeah, you might, maybe not. I know those gold Andy Brayshaws, even them, they're going for quite a bit at the moment. So they are scarce. And I don't know about you guys, but I have not seen many Brayshaws or Tuke Millers on the market for golds, even under $20. So no, I'm all for it, Henry. But Cam, you've alluded to this before, lock of the round. So we do this on our Monday show for those who follow along on the Aussie Real show that we do there every week on YouTube. We pick our players once a week and then we lock them in. How this works is once you pick a player, you can't use them again for the rest of the season. So last week I picked Doherty. I said he'd get 105 points. The guys gave me stick because it was a little bit low. And yeah, he hit it. The other guys, they were giving me stick for it, but they both came with donuts because their picks didn't make it. But Hef took the community out to a lead last week. He picked Andy Brayshaw for 125. So the community guests are actually in the lead. And Cam, you can see who we've picked this week. I've followed Hef's lead. I've gone with Brayshaw. Tom's gone with Dacos, and Kerm has gone with Parrish. Who are you locking in this week, and what score are they going to get?
So if they miss, you get 0. Yeah.
If they miss, you get 0. So
yeah, okay. I'm going to lock in Jack Steele, and he's going for. Look at you 3 being overly conservative there.
Come on, mate. I'm on 0 points. What do you
I need to get a win here.
Mate, that's where you need to jump up a little bit, right? So I'm going to lock him in for 135.
Oh.
That's big, bro.
that's good. Yeah,
like
if he hits, you're a star.
Yep.
If you miss, yeah, you're a big donut. But yeah, what about this? I just want to share some. I've just seen Mark come through that distracted me more than your 135. Just picked up a silver Nick Dacos for $2, which is maybe the biggest steal. It's better than any of those other cards for the platinums that we've been putting for a cent. So Mark's on fire tonight. He's not only upgraded his Cooper White into, who was it, the Zorko? He's also picked up a Nick Dacos for $2. So thank you for following along, Mark. And thank you for everyone else. We're going to wrap it up there, guys. Game starts in just 10 minutes. So we really appreciate everyone who's jumping on and supporting Game Day Squad. Make sure your team would be locked in now. So best of luck for everyone. Cam, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. Been great having you on. And hope we can get you back on some other time because, we enjoy talking to you about fantasy. So thank you, guys. We'll be back on Monday to talk more Game Day Squad, but enjoy this week's games.